up guys? So you may have seen in the last video that Chrissy's out of town. She's actually out at Aromas doing some things with Dave maybe. So what she typically does is walk you guys through some recipes and things that she eats. And today I'm gonna walk you through a day of my meals from start to finish and give you guys an idea of what that looks like. All right, so I don't count, measure, follow any sort of diet, even though I'm sure it would help me. I've never done macros. I can't bring myself to do it. I see a lot of people get benefit from it, and I think even if I did it for a short term, it would probably be helpful, but I don't. I just kind of eat what I want when I want. Christy and I eat a lot of the same stuff, and we eat similar meals at mostly the same times. She weighs and measures her food, so she gets a little bit more accurate count. I don't, and what I mostly find is that I undereat, if anything. So what I'm gonna do is start with the first thing that I consume when I come downstairs in the morning and kind of walk you guys throughout the day. So very first thing, when I come downstairs, I pour myself a glass of water. It is the first thing that goes in my body, and I take a little multivitamin pack. From there, I use what's left of the glass of water and I do some reds and some greens because I'm not really the best about getting in a ton of vegetables. I like my carbs and I like my protein, and I'll pepper in some vegetables, but I probably don't get what I should. So it's a super easy way to do that. On top of that, I found that if I don't do it the very first thing when I walk downstairs, I tend to forget throughout the day. So it's an easy routine for me to keep myself in, and that's what I start with. So after that, my first thing is starting to make some coffee. I don't make it very long without that. I'll normally do 2 espresso shots and a little bit of whole milk in there. I've cut my caffeine intake back recently. We talked about that in one of our recent videos. I tend to feel a little bit better throughout the day, not having kind of like the highs and lows of being jacked up on caffeine. I thoroughly enjoy caffeine and used to drink it all day long, but I do feel better just kind of minimizing that a little bit. So along with that coffee, I typically do like kind of a 2-part breakfast. First thing I do when I come home or when I come downstairs is I'll make some oatmeal, and I'll do about a half a scoop of protein in there, which I pour that in dry. I'll shake it up and it makes it super easy to mix in there. Then I'll microwave it. Once I pull it out of the microwave, I'll do about a spoonful of peanut butter in there and mix it up. So I've got some carbs, some protein, and some fat. And I get up about 5:30 or 6, and this is kind of the first thing that goes in my body. Being as I get up fairly early, normally I'll eat a secondary breakfast at like 10-ish, 10:30, and that normally consists of eggs. Sometimes those are just plain scrambled eggs. A lot of times it's got some baby spinach and broccoli in there, and then I'll do a piece of toast with maybe peanut butter, or sometimes I'll mix it up and do like some low sugar jelly. But by 10 o'clock, this is pretty much everything that I've eaten, 10 or 10:30, and then we move on to lunch. Also, I was just gonna mention that normally the reason I break up my breakfast and they're a little bit smaller portions is because between the 6 a.m. when I normally eat breakfast and that 10 when I eat like a second breakfast is like a morning cardio session. So I don't have too much in my stomach, and then I'm kind of refueling myself afterwards. And that normally kind of makes me feel full enough to where at lunchtime, I've gotta kind of make myself eat something. All right, so once the day gets going past 10, my appetite really goes down a lot and I kind of have to make myself eat. I've got quite a bit of food in for the morning, and my lunch, though it varies, is normally pretty basic. It might be something like some asparagus, a chunk of broccoli, and a piece of chicken. Again, I don't measure any of this stuff, and a lot of times it's just kind of off how hungry I feel. If I'm not that hungry, it might be a little bit less. If I'm starving, I'm gonna eat until I'm full. But lunch is the one that I kind of normally have to make myself eat. Once I get going and feel productive and the day is rolling, I have a harder time kind of stopping, making myself eat, and that's the one, if any, that I would skip. All right, and dinner, that's normally when I am really hungry again, and our dinner meals are probably pretty big. We alternate our meats between like chicken, turkey, fish, so it's not, this would be a dinner every night, but it might be a turkey burger, it might be a beef burger, but burgers are probably one of my favorite, and so are fries. So what I've got here is a hamburger with some baby spinach and an avocado on it. Normally I put some hot sauce and a little bit of barbecue on there as well. I do like broccoli. That's probably one of my most eaten vegetables. And these are hand-cut potato fries, which we eat all the time. Just literally cut up a potato. Sometimes we do sweet potato, and we cook those in the air fryer, which is probably one of our favorite little kitchen appliances. We can make fries in like 15 minutes, which is pretty darn quick, and they're really easy. And the air fryer is also really easy to clean, so we use it all the time. We try to do a salad with dinner too, and this is just baby spinach with some strawberries on there. Sometimes we'll do nuts and seeds as well, but they're normally pretty basic. The dressing that we use is garlic expressions most of the time. Sometimes we'll venture off and try something new, but that one's kind of a go-to. It's pretty healthy and, you know, kind of goes on the strawberry-ish type salad. All right, it's not an everyday thing with dinner, but occasionally I do like my beer as well. Sometimes we'll do wine. The beer, I do notice, tends to make me a little fatter, or at least feel fatter, but I also just love it. So this is one that some friends brought for us pretty recently. It's called Key Bump. It's by Who Farted, and it's a triple IPA. So I know you guys have been asking about what kind of beers I like, and if it was up to me, I would drink probably a lot more of those than I do, but I'll try to avoid that as well. Sometimes we do red wine. The one we've been drinking lately, or at least had in the house occasionally, is 19 Crimes. They make a few different versions of that, but for us it's an easy drinking red wine that we don't do that often, but it's kind of a go-to when we do. All right guys, so that's pretty much what I eat throughout the day. Sometimes I'll do snacks as well, but that really is just dictated by how hungry I am. Some days I'll do no snack, sometimes I'll do a protein bar or chips and hummus. I'll throw stuff like that in, but this is an average day of eating. I'm certainly not saying that you guys should be doing it, but it's at least what I found works pretty well for me. If anything, I just need to eat more of it, and that's what I found. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of a gauge of what an everyday athlete like myself consumes on a regular basis. And if you found some value in this, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button, and tune in for what we got next.